Hey, what's going on, Empires? How you doing, bro? All right, so you see, we from London, we created the London Low down here in this gap. This was the move. I should have waited for the New York lunch to get taken out. That's why I left it in here so I could kind of show y'all, because I know some of y'all were in the Discord when I said I was trying to go long, but this is I really should have waited for this. I think I tried to go long like somewhere right here, but I really should have waited for the sweep below and then this aggressive push back up into it. I will. You can hit me up. Um, Sometimes like I need to turn my notifications on, um like my social medias. I keep them off just because sometimes you get too many notifications. But no, if you message me, I'll definitely get back to you. Just don't ask me for no money or nothing. I got nothing to give you. But yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Doing real good. Been excited these last couple weeks. Did you get into any trades yet today? So what I'm kind of thinking right now, I think we're gonna get another push long after we get this little pullback. Um, there's like a couple of areas that I'm looking at. So we got the lunch low that we're trading below, but if you also look close to this New York PM low, we have these equal lows right here, and I'm trying to see when that'll get taken, right? So I'm trying to see if we're gonna try and shoot down there first, or if we're gonna like I'm trying to I want to know if this push down is gonna take us all the way down there, or we find support right here, then we push up, trade up here a little bit, and then we come back down to these equal lows. But you can see like the range, the New York lunch low and high, they're not really that far from each other. So I think this one's gonna be a nice little setup. Whenever they're smaller like this, they usually work out pretty nicely. But again, you're just not gonna win as much. But the play. And Samson, let me know if you message me or something. I'll go and check it. Yeah, see, right now I kind of like these longs. We'll try a quick one.
Order filled.
I gotta stop getting in so early. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna create a voice channel so everybody could chop it up in there. I'm definitely gonna get it going. Yeah, I should have definitely waited for the 50%. I got in a little too early. But I'm trying to watch these candles closely because whenever they start engulfing, that's when I like to get in. See like how this one is just coming right back up. See, I'm gonna try again. We dipped down, price came up. Oh no, we dipped down, price came up, it came back down and did another sweep, like a double sweep, and then pushed up again. So hopefully this will push us up there. So like I said, I'm gonna try and target this New York lunch high. Um, Maybe a little bit above it because we have this 1 hour fair value gap up there. So maybe that could get us up there. That's what I'm banking on. 1 second, my daughter's throwing a tantrum. Let me go see what's going on. So the 5 minute, was acting like it wanted to go up higher. We almost engulfed the previous one. The wicks peaked out above the top. So I'm gonna let it rock. I'm assuming that it's showing willingness to go up. So that's what I'm thinking. Like it wants to go up. It's just doing what it does right here. I'm thinking maybe, but let's see. One thing that I'm watching though, if you look on this 5 minute, like 2 candles ago, this 5 minute candle did disrespect this fair value gap, and then we came back up to retest it again. Um, but we're still kind of like in that range, so we shall see. Then again, like looking at this a little bit closer, I'm still early because we didn't even hit the 50%. But like I was saying, I like that we did this like quick little double sweep. So that's why I did get into it. To push up. This 1 minute could turn bullish like this. We extend away from here. But I might get stopped out too, because like I said, I'm not even at the 50%. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but I do know that I could get stopped out just because of that. Yeah, this candle reached down, and I would have definitely wanted to see more push away from where we're at right now. And then these, like, we're getting wicks at the bottom of this, right? But they're kind of like trending down a little bit. Each one is still lower and then lower the body closures. Thinking I'm too early. So we did close bullish on that last 1 minute candle, but I don't like how it was a indecisive candle like that with both of the wicks on both sides. But I mean, we closed up higher than the previous highs, like on the shorter term. Looks like the structure of the trend is still staying intact, so I think we still should still be good. Yeah, we're starting to engulf on the 15 minute now. Now we just need to make sure we get candle closures up here and we could just ride the wave. So another area that I am concerned about are these like equal highs right here, relative equal highs. They're not like perfectly equal, but the reason anytime we get like equal highs and or just any type of liquidity that's right above or below an untouched fair value gap kind of makes me think a little bit. And for me, it doesn't matter what time frame that's on too. But like I see these fair value gaps that haven't been tapped into. It's two of them on the 1 minute. After we came up and swept the New York high, then we sold off again. So we got to watch how price acts up here because one, this could just be a pullback for the trend to sell off again. But with everything else that I've already discussed, that shouldn't be a problem, right? But that's just something to keep in mind because we're showing bullish, you know what I mean? So we got to go with what the overall is telling us. Go ahead and move my stop to break even. We really shouldn't come back down there. So that's why I went ahead and just moved it. We don't have any fair value gaps right here. I mean, we have some like visible imbalances, so I'll probably just put it at that swing of that 1 minute. But I mean, I don't think it should come back down there. And if price does come like far back into this, I just wouldn't really be expecting longs anymore if I get stopped out of this. You know what? I think I might be missing a fair value gap too. Or am I? Oh no, we're good. That is what I'm trying to tag up there. Yeah, so I mean, it's looking pretty straight right now. Like if this hourly and all these candles could stay bullish for the next 20 minutes, I think we'll be good. At least if the overall trend could stay bullish. But like I was saying, you see this is the area I was kind of worried about. We had the equal highs tapped into the fair value gap, you know, getting some rejection. It's not immediately enough for me to like want to get out of it. But just see how this, why you gotta watch this area. See, and then if you look at the 5 minute, like, I don't like the way that 5 minute looks. Selling off, selling off. But we should be bullish right now. So this should just be an aggressive pullback again, because we know what we tapped into. So as long as we push back like this and then leave wicks down at the bottom end, then we should still feel pretty good about it. But if we start closing, getting too much candle closures and just keep kind of like trending down, low key overweight in my eyes if it does that. And then the move to the top side still could be in play, but I just feel like with a rejection, a strong rejection from here, it's probably gonna try and come back and actually hit this 50% or something, or we just sell off because we had a pretty decent sell off from coming back up here trying to retest these previous highs. But yeah, I'm not sure about this one anymore. Probably will close it out for whatever I can get in a second. There's 20 seconds left in this 5 minute candle. And just the way it's looking, I'm not liking. I'm not liking the rejection. I'm not liking the body closures back below like these previous high body closures. You close at the high, okay, good. Yeah, if I like the way this 1 minute did this, but if we close green like kind of up here with that wick, I feel good about it. But just the way this is printing, I'm not sure if we're gonna try and retest up there at them highs again. So we're low key like tapping into this a 5 minute fair value gap that was just created, like with the candle before. So I guess I want to see how these 1 minute candles are acting around here. Like I can trading through them is cool, but if we can keep getting body closures above, I'll rock with it. But it's not looking good. Yeah, see, I just like how that wick comes back up, or the body comes back up. If we close up here, like above this gap or in the gap, I'll feel good about it. We got, what, 13 seconds left. Closed outside of it just a little bit. Might be over. But again, I don't like this sell off. So, I mean, we're probably going lower, but I mean, I don't know. I would like to see longs. 1900s. I was thinking if we did 1900s, you sure about that? What do you mean 1900? Like 19? What you? That's far away. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, yeah. So you see what I was just talking about with that those equal highs. It played out like, and it happened, and I still stayed in it. But that's why you got to watch those areas, equal highs, and then some type of untapped fair value gap or something above it. Yeah, no, I know the gap down there. That's what we've been tapping into, this gap right here. That's what we're that's no, not this one, my bad. This one all the way down here. But not at 1900. You think we're all the way in 24. I mean, you're saying 19,000s. We're in 24,000 right now. So that's like 5 or it's over 10, like it's like $15,000 price change. I definitely wanted to see more of this gap be filled, like when it pushed down the first time in here, but I think we're just too far extended right now. And in the PM, it's just probably not gonna get down there. But yeah, like you were saying, the next few weeks, definitely. Oh no, you good. I kind of knew what you were saying, so it's all good. But now, with that being said, like I could see some shorts, but we're just coming back into this fair value gap, and we never tapped the 50% the first time. We swept up here, right? But it still low key kind of showed a willingness to go higher. So I guess we kind of see how this, if this gap could hold us up. But if not, it's probably done because we didn't even get to make it all the way to the New York lunch high, and we're already back below the low. So that might have been, this might have been all that it wanted to do as far as liquidity during the lunch hour. But if we can get some bullish pressure outside of the pushing out of this fair value gap again, I wouldn't be mad at trying it again. But kind of looking at it, it does look like we're starting to trend down. So I'm gonna be a little patient with the entry. Yeah, you see how we're kind of like pushing up. If we could push up like this and like get some candle closures. On the 30 minute, you said gap on the 30 minute. You talking about below here? See something like that. Like, so I kind of want to try this again, gang. Let's be smart. Let's downsize. So I'm going with 2 right now. Looks like we're coming to retest this. We just retested this 1 minute inverted. So we did invert a 5 minute fair value gap too that I mentioned earlier. So we do gotta again watch that. That's what this red small little red gap right here. It was inverted on the 5 minute. That's a 5 minute. So if we get back in this gap and keep like pushing, so if we get in the gap and then sell off and then come back into the gap again, like we're going through it. So what we're watching on this 1 minute right now, because we have this 1 minute fair value gap. Just want to make sure we can close up above it. It's gonna let me know to stay in my trade a little bit longer. Don't think we're really going all the way up there, but I'm just putting it up there. I'll be on for like probably till about for like another hour, depending on how the trade turns out too. Like if I get something, like if this closes out within that hour, I'll just be done. But you can hit me up on Discord though if anything. Yeah, we're making our way through this fair value gap if we can make sure we get at least a bullish closure or keep these lows intact and treat this as support like this inverted and then maybe this fair value gap below it as support too. But I think this should be able to take us up and through it. Hey, what's going on, Joey? Oh wow, this thing looks beautiful right now. These are those times where I wish I did just get my five, but we gotta play things smart. So I'm glad that we didn't though. It is what it is. So there is a hourly fair value gap. This green one. But we still got to make our way through this fair value gap that we're trading in right now. But this will probably be. I want to see what happens once we get to like 25,000. Cause that's 25,000. That's like pretty much this gap right here. 24,997 up to 25,013. So I want to see what happens up there. So I mean, as long as if you just learn about scaling up, um, I'm answering your question, Joey, because I just read it to myself. But if you work on scaling up and just understanding risk management, bro, like you should feel the same if your stop loss is 150 or 1,500. And the reason that is because your account balance should be able to take that. Like, you know what I mean? So it really is into relation of to how much money you have in your account too. So if you starting with a smaller balance, just start smaller, bro. Like start with the micros, like do micros, do 1-2 contract, and like build up the balance. When your balance is built up, that's when you're gonna have the confidence. But when you're just too close, like if you're in a evaluation and it has a $3,000 drawdown, I'm not gonna want to play. I wouldn't want to have a trade where my stop is gonna be 1,500. You know what I mean? But if I built up the account balance and everything, and if I had $30,000 in the account, this 1,500 feels like $150. You kind of get what I'm saying? So that's the only way you're gonna get comfortable doing it is building up smaller, because when you just jump into it, you still have a lot of things that you're just not sure of. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be second guessing yourself a lot, and you don't want to be doing that with a bunch of size on. And I still second guess myself, but that's just how I talk through my trades a lot of times too. Like I'm like, it looks like it's flipping right here. It's like I'm literally giving y'all commentary of what goes on in my brain as I'm sitting in these trades. One, for y'all to kind of understand that sometimes you don't always feel 100% convicted in your trade the entire way, but you keep having conversations with yourself and telling yourself, okay, X, Y, and Z happens, so this should happen. So that's how you kind of keep reassuring yourself, which just goes back into being comfortable with having the larger size on. Because don't just get scared and like you get a big drop and you think you're gonna get stopped out. You're up 5,000, then it drops to 1,500 or something. But take a second, look at what's going on in the charts. You know what I mean? And then just go over why you got in the trade again. Like look at everything. Just take a step back and look at everything. And if you could do a combination of all of that, building up, and then getting better at looking at your position and just getting seeing more candles print. That's one of the main ways you're gonna get more comfortable. Is just seeing how these candles print, because this like the charts is its own language. So if you can learn the language, then you'll be good. But yeah, I know that was a whole lot of nothing, but I hope that answered your question or gave you a little bit of insight on how to, start scaling up. But just take your time, man. And you got to think like prop firms and all of this, they capitalize on us traders being impatient because we want all the money fast. So, you know, like Apex, for example, you go pass in one day, like people just trying to do whatever they can to pass in one day. And then you go to your account and like you don't even have the mindset right to maintain your account because all you've been trying to do is pass in one day or pass in 5 days, pass in X amount of days. That's one thing I had to stop doing was like telling myself I needed to pass in X amount of days. Like if you can stop that and then look at drawdown, divide it up in a week or however, like, and then you'll be able to get your risk management on point. Hey, congrats. What prop firm are you with? Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, Top Step's A1. I love Top Step. I can't complain about Top Step at all. Well, I mean some stuff, but not enough for me to start talking about it. But Top Step is A1. They're top of my list for sure. But yeah, Joey, I just put in my Discord in the chat. I pinned it to the top. It's free. Nobody, there is a section that says VIP, but that's not even like put together yet. So I'm just worried about the profit district. I'm just trying to build a community. Everybody could bounce ideas. If you go to the district trading floor, we got a couple people in there chatting already, including myself. But you could go in there, just chat, throw your plays, ideas of what you want to see, and we go from there and just keep building up. And I try to every time I see something during Asia or London, I try to post it in there before I'm like taking the trade. If I see it setting up, that doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, I definitely make sure I get it in there so you guys can kind of see. And if you go in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's like I do like screenshots um of when I'm in the trade and everything, and other people do the same thing, so you'll be able to see some stuff. But yeah, it's new. We're building it up. I want to get as much people in there. I want to get us, talking back and forth, bouncing ideas, um, and have some people making some money in the group. That'll be dope too. Go out there and you should, essentially talk your shit. I don't know any other way to say it, but that might be the channel name too. But yeah, that's what I wanted to turn into. Yeah, so I got my 5K payout hat from Top Step like a couple weeks ago. So that's why I still rock with Top Step to this day. Yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Really is. We coming up on that lunch high right now. We just hit the that old PM low or PM high from earlier, but I still think we're gonna give it another shot trying to go up there. We already done came back up here, so I'm thinking we're gonna try a little bit more. So we are coming up on that lunch high too, so we do have to make sure that we extend through it, coming up on a fair value gap, everything. So we just gotta make sure we good. I have Top Step, I have Trade Day, I just got Tradeify. So yeah, I have those are the three main ones. I've tried Apex. So when I first got into this, the three prop firms that I knew about was Trade Day, Top Step, and Apex. And I think Apex was the first one because it was so cheap at the time. it was either Apex or Trade Day was my actual first one. I think it was Top Step, but this was my first time doing a prop firm. I passed that evaluation with Top Step in 2 days, but I thought I was the shit. This was like 2 years ago though. But but yeah, I like them all though. Top Step, Trade Day, and Tradeify right now are my top picks. I don't really rock with Apex like that for real. What? They can do that because the tattoo didn't match? Wait, bro, Top Step banned me when I requested a ban. Yeah, so that's one that's crazy about your ID, bro. Like that's I don't know. That's crazy. But the other thing too is that um for you, Joey, that trade sinker, yeah, I've been seeing people do that, and I've been hearing that if you have like a data feed to Project X already, but I don't even know how to open up a I don't even think they have a retail trading section yet. They said it's coming soon, but apparently if you like have a thing directly with Project X, you could link any um broker that uses Project X if you get that. Like if you got Top Step X, Trade Day X, Tradeify X. These are rumors though. I don't know. I need to look more into it, but I heard that you can trade all of them. But yeah, a lot of people definitely use the trade sinker. There was another one that I used to use a long time ago. That was so I was trying to do like trade view. Like I wanted to trade on trade view but have it copy on all accounts. I don't remember what it was called, but it was Ninja Trader specific. Empires, you couldn't talk to nobody, you couldn't message them or something. Like that seemed kind of crazy. Got you. Yeah, I mean it's cool, but you know, like with anything, there's just gonna be one, like they sometimes some things glitch, bro. Like I've been in some and all the trades were in place. Like if one trade closed out, or if I closed out a trade, there's sometimes at least one of them wouldn't close out, or just it's a lot of extra stuff sometimes. But as long as you know, on point with it, like getting up earlier and making like testing your connection before really getting in trades and everything, I think it's cool. But if it was up to me, I would prefer to just trade. I would trade multiple accounts with one thing, so it could be on one screen in front of me, and then have maybe have like multiple screens, because you know with like if you have multiple like Top Step accounts, say with Top Step X, you know you can copy trade all of them within that Top Step X, and then even if you had Tradeify X or Trade Day X, you can still open up that window. It doesn't mess with your feed with Top Step, so you can copy trade that way too, and you don't even have to really pay. You won't be paying any extra money for the trade copier software itself. You would just use what comes with all these prop firms already. I think that that might be a better way to go about it. And you know, if you have a bad day, you don't want all your accounts to have a bad day. That's the other thing. Like it's so much better if you like go on tilt on a one account and then you're like, okay, cool. You step back, reassess everything, then you go into another count, and then you can like, do what you need to do properly. Yeah, bro. So I've been why did that happen? But I've been looking at bull knocks too. Not even gonna lie. Like I've been seeing them. So when you go to Project X, just because I like this platform, when you go to Project X, you can see all the people, all the prop firms that work with them. Okay, while I was talking, we just took out that New York lunch high. So we need to see what's gonna happen here. If we get too crazy of a rejection, I'm gonna just hop out. But I do think we could still push up a little bit more. This wasn't a crazy push above it, but also you see how we the first time we hit this New York PM, that's how much we hit it and sold off from there. So let's see what happens. But we're back up here. We swept the previous highs. We swept the New York lunch high. So now we got to see which way we want to start extending. If we can extend with displacement up above, maybe leaving a fair value gap in that move up, then I'll feel good. What's going on with their drawdown? Still inching up there. So I'm thinking we're trying to make our way to that fair value gap. Oh, trailing. Okay, got you. What is it like intraday? Is it an intraday trailing? It's not end of day. Oh, it's intraday. Got you. Yeah. I was doing intraday for a little while on my trade day, but I had to switch over to end of day because for the way that I trade, intraday is not the move. If you have a set stop loss profit target and you're taking more like scalps, I think intraday is the way to go. But if you trying to hold for like moves, I wouldn't do intraday. Just cause like with intraday, like if it came back and stopped me, you would blow an account. Like I would be down this 4,000 plus this 1,500 because you're with trade or intraday, it counts your unrealized profit. I don't like that. I think I'm gonna just move my TP to this somewhere in this fair value gap. Cause really, honestly, like I'm thinking we could like come up above this New York high. Cause if we zoom out of that, right? If I just go to and then we're on the 1 hour, but we never even touched this fair value gap up here, this hourly one. But is that today? I don't know. You know what I mean? And we had this fair value gap below it, and we've already balanced this whole price range. Like that's what all this back and forth was, balancing this 1 hour fair value gap. So, two things: either from this fair value gap right here, right where my TP is at, we sell off, or we're probably coming up a little bit more, trade up here for a little bit, and then we could sell off, and then maybe we can actually target this opposite side of this new week opening gap. But the reason I'm thinking that we might not go all the way up here though is just because with this push down, this is technically like market structure shift. Like we're changing the structure of what's been going on these last couple of days. Because you see, we've been moving up, still creating higher lows, and then boom, we create a lower low right here, and then now this is kind of like just a pullback. That's how I kind of view it. Oh yeah, let me get out of that. I'm looking at a higher time frame. I didn't even see how that last candle went crazy. Yeah, look at this 1 minute candle. I have multiple screens, so I saw it at the last minute, but Yeah, I'm cool on that. Even though it probably still could push up, right? But I think I'm cool. I'm good with where we're at. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much just back to where I started at the beginning of the session, but made my money back. But yeah, and I appreciate it when there's people in here asking questions and y'all get to see what I'm thinking and why I think what I think or do what I do sometimes. But yeah, I do think we could possibly still get another push up into this fair value gap. We didn't push into it, but just the way the price action has been, I don't want us to come up here and then we come down trying to find a much lower price area of liquidity. You know what I mean? Because for me, like the pullback would be somewhere back to these equal highs or something. You know what I mean? We already did have like a retest of it on this 1 minute, but still. But yeah, see, look, we're right back up. But okay, but again, I'm happy with being out of this trade. I'm cool with it. Like, that was fine. Yeah, and if we tap into that hourly fair value gap up there, and then start selling off, the best place to probably like target, there'll probably be like two targets. I'm not gonna get in any shorts. I'm just saying it for whoever's listening. I'm not telling y'all to get in it either, but I just want y'all to watch what happens. But I'm thinking maybe let's go back to this hourly. So another thing, so you see this hourly, you see how we had the wick up, and we came back, and then now it's like kind of like pushing up again. I don't know. I hate seeing this too, like a wick up, and then we kind of like inch our way up through it. Because this candle will close, and then the next candles will be like a red candle, tap into this, and then we just sell off from there. Because this is pretty much just like this is the New York lunch high, so this is an area of liquidity. So if you think about it, we're trading into that liquidity, like expecting it pretty much to get swept because all that energy from it being swept will push it up into this fair value gap, and then probably when price comes back down below this New York lunch, might be time to look for shorts. That's how I'm looking at it. And people call these the Maribosu candles where there's no wick at the bottom. So either that just means it's a really strong trend or this candle is manipulating. Because if it's manipulating, all of this green up here is going to be a wick. We still have 42 minutes in an hour candle. So this candle's only been open for 18 minutes. So those are the type of things I think about when I look at this. There's still 40 minutes left in the hourly candle, and we're about to hit an hourly fair value gap. So I don't know. I'm low key thinking that this might be a manipulation candle, tap into there, and then sweep us back, and then we might sell off a little bit. And then if I was to get in that, I would just be targeting like these previous 1 hour lows. So like this was the New York lunch low or this was the wick from the candle that swept the New York lunch low and then pushed us up back up here. But yeah, but it's all about seeing how price reacts in these areas. You got to see what happens. Yeah, so really, so the main thing I really do, I like to know where the previous session liquidity is at. So New York lunch high and low is the only in session liquidity that I look at. Everything else is from previous sessions, from the past session. So like, oh my bad. So yeah, so it's just pretty much I'm going with liquidity. So I'm trying to see, like if we sweep buy side, I want to be on the ride down to sweep sell side, or if we sweep sell side, I want to be on the ride up to sweep buy side. So how I really find a lot of that, right? So is by doing the session. So you see this is the London low. And if you don't see a London high or any low that's like relating to another one, that just means that price already went through it and I just told myself to disregard it. So at this time, I didn't take the New York PM low out just because I wanted to see what was going to happen. And sometimes we come back and retest these areas because it's like a break and retest or however you want to call it. But long story short, like I said, I look for one side of liquidity to be swept, and then I want to target the next. So another reason why I was targeting up here is because the New York PM or AM session from yesterday was already swept. The PM low was swept, the Asia low was swept, and then after you saw that, we started taking out the highs. We left this London intact, so that's letting you know that London is the low of the day. Like whenever you see something like that, or even Asia, if Asia was right here and then we kept trading up and Asia's been here the whole day, like that's the low of the day. You can look at it as that, as far as like for the trend of the day. So if price comes back down there, it's probably flipping around or whatever, you know. But yeah, so I'm looking for buy side or one side of liquidity to get swept, and I target the other side. I find those areas of liquidity by looking at the session liquidity previously. After I do that, I go to all time frames really. So I'll even start at the monthly. I want to know where fair value gaps are on the monthly or where we're trading on the month. You know what I mean? I want to know where the candle, the previous month high is, the previous month low, because if we're close to that, that's gonna drive price. And so after that, I'll drop down. I'll keep dropping down. So that's the monthly. Then I'll do the same thing on the weekly. Like you see this. This is pretty much from the new week opening gap. That's crazy sell off we had that week. I think last week, but that pushed us into a weekly fair value gap, and then pushed us back up. If you see, it pushed us back up through this other fair value gap, which kind of disrespected this fair value gap. Then this week we came and retested it. So that's another reason too why I've been patient on trying to get down to the bottom of this new week opening gap, because I knew that we disrespected a fair value gap. We inverted it and then technically reclaimed it because of the way price jumped up. And then you see we came back for the retest at the beginning of the week, or actually wasn't even the beginning of the week. This was the London session where we came for the retest, and now we're pushing back up. And now, mind you, we're looking at a weekly candle. So London was down here. So this whole range that we're in is this entire week. That this move is pretty much this entire week. But after that, we go down to the daily, and I'm doing the same thing on the daily, looking at fair value gaps. And I do all of that all the way to like maybe the 4 hour or the 1 hour. And I will do fair value gaps on lower time frames, but only when I'm actually trading. This is like my top down portion. I won't do anything for my top down under the 15-minute candle. I won't really do any fair value gaps or anything unless, you know, we're in session trading and I'm looking at the nearest fair value gaps for lower time frames. I'm not really paying attention to ones that are further away. The only time I will do that is if, you know, like I said, I'm targeting this 1 hour fair value gap up here. If I zoom in, there's probably like lower time frame fair value gaps up here in that fair value gap. So sometimes I'll target like the highest one in that, like within this fair value gap. Let me see if there's any in here so you can kind of. So that's the 5-minute. So yeah, so just for this example, like if I drop down to the 1 minute, you see there's like 3 fair value gaps in this 1 hour fair value gap. So if I just wanted to be more precise for my entry, I'll drop down and look at lower time frame fair value gaps like that, or more precise with my exits. But you can't go wrong with 50% of any gap, honestly. And let's see. Hey Tippy. Hey, it takes time to hold like that. I'm telling you, like it does. You got to get used to it. But yeah, sorry. So other than that, Like that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'll try to either go from like one area of liquidity to the next. I look at fair value gaps as liquidity. So old highs and old lows are like external liquidity for me. And then fair value gaps are internal liquidity. So anytime we go and make a new high or something, like I'm looking and I'm not in the trade, I'll probably be looking at fair value gaps below it to try and get into because I know that's going to be the next area. Some people will sell from there too, sell into the fair value gap and then maybe buy again up back up to the old high. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much like just a quick rundown of how the strategy works. But at the end of the day, it's really just price action and ICT. Like that's who when I really started trading seriously, bro, was I started watching ICT, and that's when everything changed. A lot of people hate the man. I just want to let you know, no ICT slandered will be tolerated over here. We rock with him, bro. Like I'm just saying that. But if y'all can take your time. Oh, and I'll tell you one video that really made it different for me was he has a video called One Trading Setup for Life, and he talks about the session liquidity and everything. You know, you're still not gonna get everything off of that video, but that just really puts things in perspective for you because you're no longer looking at like just getting into a good trade. Like you really can see where the market is trying to go, and you can really sit back and sit in trades for hours. Like I've had trades during Asia that didn't close out till the New York session. Like I opened it Asia session, opened New York, and closed it New York session. That's when it will hit my TP. But when you just understand the ranges and the way candles print, if you can get in tune with the rhythm of the market, like that's really what it's about. Because patterns and these fair value gaps, sometimes they don't work out, but the way the the way the candles print could tell you a lot more than like fair value gaps or whatever it is. But yeah, very long-winded, but just overall, y'all check out that ICT video, One Trading Setup for Life. After I watched that, that's what really changed the game for me. You probably still will have to watch some more, but that one right there really changed the game for me. And not even just like, because he doesn't tell you exactly how to get into your trades and everything. But if you understand like market structure shifts and all of that, like everything starts to make sense. So for this gap, um, not even gonna lie to you, I don't think it's looking good. I still think it's probably gonna go a little bit higher. But I mean, the 1 minute says one thing, but when I look at like higher time frames, like the 5 and the 15, I still feel like it could probably go up. Because if you look, we did displace through it on this 5 minute. We left a fair value gap. We closed above the 50%. Then we had a candle come back and retest the 50%, and now we're right back outside the range again. Just not right this second. I don't see it. I would still need to see more candles print because we still just sitting right here. But if you look at this and you kind of could get tricked into going short just because you see like a pretty decent sized candle going down. But you also got to look at this wick. Like, you know what I mean? We tapped two fair value gaps and then came all the way back up above pretty much the half of the first one. That kind of tells me bullish. But like I always say, it could be wrong, bro. It is, you know what I mean? The markets do what they want to do. But at this very second, I can't see the shorts yet. Other than that, we tapped into this fair value gap. We kind of made like a lower low down here. You know what I mean? Putting those two together, yeah, but I would need to see more confirmation with the way that these lower time frame candles print. Yeah, anytime you see wicks keep coming down and then the bodies keep coming back into like a either a trend line, so it could either be like I have two screens up and I keep thinking I'm like pointing to y'all at the right one, but my other screen up. But But you know, anytime you see like these type of trend lines, shit. See prices moving up a little bit higher, right? And wicks are coming down and bodies are closing up at the top. Um, One thing, if you do watch some of ICT's videos, you'll hear him say that the wicks do the damage, but the bodies tell the story. So that's what I'm looking at. Like the wicks are doing the damage, but the bodies tell the story. So I'm looking at how the bodies are closing. See how they're still kind of going up a little bit. It's still kind of showing bullish energy right now. So it's just still too early for me to really decide. But yeah, I won't be taking anything, but I am gonna watch it for a little bit. So the 15-minute closed outside of the gap. So you know, I've said it before. Sometimes the lower time frames are like kind of telling you the future, kind of like foreshadowing what's gonna happen next on the higher time frame. So I mean, with this closing out there, it's possible um, that the hourly is gonna close like this one, like up here, somewhat in a similar area. Oh man, but there's these tiny fair value gaps. It's probably will trip people up. So we had this little one right here. I didn't even see that. And then there's another little small one up here too. And a fair value gap's a fair value gap. I'll let y'all know that now. No matter how big it is, like it can still send price wherever it wants to go. But seeing that, like now that I see that, you see we had this 15-minute candle did come up and trade into this small gap, and then body started closing below it. So now, and you know, this is my own theory, but I feel like you know the markets does stuff like this, like makes really small fair value gaps, so you overlook it, and then you're just thinking that you know most people who probably saw the thing close outside of this fair value gap, like okay, we're good, not even paying any attention to this one because fair value gaps are fair value gaps for real. Yep. Yes, there is. There is another five. There's a 5 minute fair value gap, like two of them right here. So whenever I have fair value gaps that are like stacked on top of that each other like this, I just do the whole gap because it's still the 50% still works the same. But try it out for yourself and see how it works though. But it's true. Okay, now it looks like it's starting to get some movement. So we saw a majority of the bodies close up here at this top end of this range. So if this is going to keep going higher, we want to see how price is going to react. Where is the body of the candles going to close? Is it going to close inside this gap or above the 50% or above it. Gotta see. Another thing that I do look at too is when the candles are printing is like this, like you see how this oh shit, not that big. But you see we had a red candle and then the green candle comes down, turns green but leaves a wick below this red candle like that. Usually it's like letting you know it's shooting up for a little bit. But like just for example, like if you look here on the 5 minute, we had a red candle, then this green candle created a wick and then pushed back up. We had a red candle, green wick. These are all liquidity sweeps. These wicks down here, these are liquidity sweeps on lower time frames. From this move, we had a green candle push down, liquidity sweep, then flips back green. And if you were looking for shorts, we have a green candle, then we have a red candle that flips back red. Shorts. And not saying you get in on every one of those, but that's just extra confirmation. That's what I'm saying. Like if I was already in this trade and trying to decide if I wanted to close the trade that I'm currently in now, and I saw this print like this, I'd be like, okay, I'll hold it for a little bit longer. Yeah, with that being said, right there, I definitely that would have made me stay in the trade. But like that's the type of stuff you want to see. You want to see some type of sweep, and you want to see candles engulfing the previous like bearish energy, and low key like the same fashion. Like so, you see how we had two red candles down, and then we had two green candles back up to pretty much equalize the range. That's how you want to see it. I wouldn't want to see two candles down and then like five candles back up. I would think that's short because we're just inching back up to get caught somewhere. But we had two candles down, then two candles back up. And this third one to actually sweep the previous high. Another thing to look at, doesn't always work, but something to make you feel a little bit more confident in your trade. So I think you just want to be mindful of too. We kind of had like this weird, you see how we like made highs, but they each of them were like lower and lower, but it was kind of smooth, right? And then price came back up there. The only reason I'm bringing that up is because I always bring up like the trend line sweeps and like retest and stuff. Um, that's the only reason you'll see like a trend line on my thing is because so like say how we have these kind of equal highs, right? So if price we created these equal highs and then price is back up here. If price comes back and sells again below this green line, I'll be like, all right, we're bearish.
Like I wouldn't be trying to look for buys anymore. But if price just comes back to tap this trend line and pushes back up, then again we're bullish. But yeah, I'm just trying to give y'all as much nuggets as possible. Like this is real life stuff that I do to like stay up my trades or when I'm looking at the charts. And just because something is like on the 1 minute, it doesn't mean like everything's fractal. So you can still kind of read the things on the 1 minute, but just no moves on the 1 minute won't last as long. Like if you can get your setup on a higher time frame, like position yourself on a higher time frame, push into a higher time frame fair value gap or something, then that'll give you more reward than doing these patterns on lower time frames. So I would almost be considering shorts right now if we keep selling off and we close below this that green line I was telling you about earlier. But if we just come and tap it and still kind of leave a like a higher low, then I'm thinking we still going up. So it didn't tap it perfectly, but you get the idea. So yeah, so if we start closing like this, I mean, it's pretty much showing you um bearish now, right? And the 1 minute just inverted this 1 minute fair value gap, so we can expect maybe a retest up in here, but we are still above. I guess you could call, I don't know, I guess the swing point you would call this, but always look at like opposing colors, color candles for the trend that we're in. So this is a what do they call it, a breaker block? I think it's a breaker block or something like that. But anyways, that's supposed to support price also. That's another thing to help support price. So if we can push up as you see from there, and again we came down here and we left a flat end green candle pushed a little bit lower. I mean, who knows? But we're below this green line and we kind of came down below it and now we're back up it again. So kind of looks like we're flipping. And I'm not saying this to make y'all get in or out of y'all trades. I'm just reading it to you guys. Like when I say it looks like it's flipping, I'm just really just saying it looks like it's flipping. But if it does or doesn't, you know what I mean? It's kind of up to the markets. And then you just take note. You're like, okay, it looked like it was going back bullish, and then we really sold off, or it looked like we were going bearish, but we really started buying up. And then just take note of what happened. You know what I mean? Look at the way the candles printed. See if there was anything that was like obvious that stood out to you that you could probably pick up on the next time. yeah, you see, it's kind of up in the air right now. We're really treating this trend line like it's resistance right now and support. We keep going up and down above it. So we are still trending lower. Disrespected the fair value gap, but we still stayed in this um breaker block or whatever they call that. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too. And like I was telling you earlier, when things happen on the lower time frames, is usually like subtle foreshadowing. You know what I mean? Because we inverted this 1 minute up here, and then we inverted this 1 minute down here, and there's still 17 seconds left in the 5 minute. So yeah, it possibly could. And I like the way the 1 hour is starting to leave this big wick up at the top. If we come back and close below like New York, the lunch high, like, yeah, I think trying to go long is over with. It still has a chance now because the 5 minute still closed within the 5 minute fair value gap. And then boom, see, it's just like pushing back up again. But again, we're in the last what hour and some change, 2 hours of the market too. So you can't expect too much to happen right now. And if a lot does happen, it's gonna happen real fast. It's not gonna be just a little steady move if we get a real long move in one direction or other. But all right, guys, I think that's it for me. Looks like, I mean, I don't want to tell y'all that, but I don't know. I would probably still be interested in maybe trying to reach a little bit higher. Just the way everything's based off everything I told you and how everything's moving right now. Feeling like might be going longer. We respected this trend line. You know, we see this body closure, but we got to remember whenever we see stuff like this on a 1 minute, like when it comes down and then back up and there are two full candles, guarantee it's a wick on a higher time frame. Like if you look right here, right there was a wick right there. If you see it on the hourly, like when you see stuff like that on the hourly, just know there's a wick like on the daily or the 4 hour. So it's probably gonna be even stronger. But yeah, I mean, long's still looking pretty straight. Could get some consistent closures up here. But yeah, man, good luck. Have a good weekend, everybody, man. We'll be back on it. Again, join the Discord. I got the link up at the top. I'll chop it up with y'all throughout the weekend there, especially on Sunday night, see what's happening during the Asia session and see what we can do. But other than that, man, y'all have a good session. Good luck. And don't blow them accounts, man. Lock it out if you need to. But all right, until next time.